What's up? What's going on, internet? Let's get some people in here. Let's make sure the stream deck's dialed in. We'll get you guys tune some of this down. And there we go. We got the stream deck dialed in. Let's get some, let's get this thing open. This thing's been driving me nuts. It got here earlier today and I didn't touch it. I told you guys I would invite you guys on this journey as we go through and open it together. We're gonna use, there's one card. So we only got one card. There was, we wanted to do some testing with it and before if we were gonna go and try to build a rig out of one. Plus, you know, that initial amount that's out there, there's not a lot of them out there, and some initial findings on what people are talking about. It looks like the power usage is just crazy. So we're going to do one today. We're going to put it actually in the Threadripper build. So I do have a rig behind me. So if we get some weird results with like the Threadripper, and I don't know, is that kind of cheating? It shouldn't matter. But, you know, with mining, but if we get some crazy results compared to what people are getting in mining rigs, I will pull a mining rig up here real quick. We'll plug it in. We'll test it on a mining rig too with like a, you know, with a lesser processor and a normal typical mining rig. I don't want to skewer the results or anything like that by putting it in a Threadripper if it just works differently with an X399 or any of that kind of stuff. Again, different variables. But we're going to pull the two 1080 Ti's out of this, and I'm going to go essentially through probably the entire process. I mean, we're going to do a device driver uninstall. We're going to make this a clean install. We're going to use the new mining drivers today, and we're just going to go cradle to grave, and I'm going to take you guys through that journey with me. So, let's get into this. You guys ready to get into this? We got 150 watching right now. Christian's asking if AMD is going to release a Linux driver for it also. I would assume that there is. They're probably working on it right now. I mean, they just released this latest one. I would say probably yes, probably pretty quick. I mean, so you got to look at the mining community's been working with them on this, obviously. Claymore kind of openly admitted that he was. Working with them to try to fix the DAG issue. So since his software can be used both on Windows and Linux, it's just a matter of time when the Linux build to come out for that driver set. But again, real quick, let's get into this. You guys ready to get into this? I'm ready to get into this. So we're going to switch over to this, and we're just gonna take you guys through. Right now, we're going to go ahead and uninstall the current 1080 Ti's in there. I don't want any drivers on this machine right now. There has been no AMD cards on this build. So this is essentially what you guys saw a few episodes back. We haven't done much with it. We didn't even put like Photoshop or any. This is going to be our production machine, but it just takes time to move stuff over to that. So we haven't done anything with this. So this is just a fresh install for the folks that just want to kind of understand what's in this machine. So this is the baseline machine that we're going to be using. AMD Threadripper, 1950X, 16 core. There's the 32 virtual with the 32 virtuals, 64 gigs of RAM. I mean, this is way crazy overkill. You do not need this for mining at all. But this is the base machine that we're going to use today and check the first sets of results. So there is a pair of 1080 Ti's in this, and we're going to remove those. We're going to be using the device driver uninstall. So if folks that are not familiar with that, you can just go out and just look it up and just device driver uninstall. And right here, the first one, 3D Guru, is fine. You can pull down this version here and just let it go through and clean. And actually, we'll just do this. I mean, I have a version of it downloaded, but that way you guys can kind of see that operation. And let's pull this down. East Coast. So we'll pull this down. We're going to remove the NVIDIA drivers, and then we're going to shut it down. I'm going to pull the cards out. I want a fresh series here of drivers. We're going to extract all these next. Place all. Downloads. This guy. Oh, we already extracted it. Let's go to the folder. BBT right here. I'm going to run this. Okay, it wants to do it again. And we're going to do this. Device driver uninstall. I am going to do the normal launch. If I had dual drivers on here, I would do probably the safe install, uninstall, but clean and restart. We're going to do a clean and shutdown. We're going to pull these drivers off. This just, I don't want any drivers running. It's running through right now. It should do it pretty quick. To execute. There it goes, pulling the drivers off. And we're going to kind of open this up. It might take out my... I'll reset the position of the meter so you guys can see that. And now it's shutting it down. So we're going to switch back to this, and we're going to pull these out real quick. Let you guys kind of look at that process. So, and then we're going to open it up. We're going to open up the Vega. This is the 64. It's the Sapphire edition. And I just hit the power button on this again. Power button on the top of this 760, so it turned back on me. All right, let's get proper screwdriver. I will not freak people out today, and I will use a proper screwdriver if I can find the other parts. There we go. Of course, that one's gonna last there. This is not for that. Maybe I will use my screwdriver. There, it's on this one. Pull these guys out. Pull the HDMI out. If this ends up being pretty decent from a production standpoint, we'll probably keep it in this and probably pick up another one. Mainly because we do a lot of 4K video rendering, and supposedly this on the production level is supposed to be pretty decent. But that's for a different video. We'll test it both with the 1080 Ti's and then a pair of them. We did order a couple of these. One showed up. But again, it was going to be for, if it wasn't going to be good for mining, it was going to go into doing production stuff. Get this angled right so I can get to it. And don't dump across the 1080s. So again, these are the super clock 1080 Ti's, the twin fans, not the tri-fan setup. All right, let's. And I am not watching the chat right now, so we will. Miss BBT will be back a little bit. She is out. I'm doing an earlier stream, so she's handling kid stuff right now. But she should be back. We are going to unbox this, I don't know what this rubber band's for. Why they included that. RIP headphone user, sorry. We're going to open this guy up. Again, this is the Sapphire. That's not much for packaging, but it is their reference model. Wow, there is nothing. I mean, there's nothing. Like, interesting. Okay. I guess they just got rid of all that kind of stuff. I mean, you got a manual and a how to install it, but no adapters, nothing. That's what we call a minimalist. It's almost an OEM. Organization, boys, organization. I know it's annoying, but when you have this many boxes and stuff, you need to make sure you got some kind of control here. These over here. All right, let's get this thing open. This is not the special edition one, unfortunately. We had no control on what we were getting. Essentially, we put in an order, and what was going to show up is what showed up. So this looks like just the base reference model. We'll kind of switch to this camera so you can kind of see it. Basic GPU tack. You guys have all seen this. So several YouTubers. You know what's funny is that they didn't even have like the, you know, the protector for the, I mean, wow. Wow, Sapphire, I hear you. That's called just getting it done, right? Just getting it in a box and shipping it. All right, so we're going to put this in the top slot. We're going to put one slot here. One just screw. Come on, baby. Needs to really set up in there. I need 2 hands for this. There we go. We're just going to put one in there to hold it. That way we can get to some performance metrics. I'm going to try to keep this to an hour, guys. So we're going to try to get through this. We're going to do some performance testing, and then we'll do more of a deeper dive on one of the longer videos with this when we get the other one in. I got a few of the other BBTers. That's picking up some of them too, and we may put them all together in one rig just to kind of benchmark it, just to show everybody kind of what it does from a full rig standpoint. Helps if this is powered on the right side of the adapter. So this is different facing than what the NVIDIA cards were. So let's get both of those in, both of the pieces there. I'm going to leave the side off of the case, and we're going to reposition this to where you guys can see it. Let's get this down. Let's make sure you guys can see the power, which it looks like you can. There we go. Nice and clear. All right, let's get the HDMI plug back in. So I'm going to come around to do that because I can't see it from here. And then we'll get this thing fired up. We'll see what all the sadness is about. I've seen a lot of sadness for this. There's a lot of hype for this. It's the unfortunate thing whenever you have a lot of people talking about the hash rates without any confirmations. You've seen on our show a few times I said I was reserving my opinion on that until I actually saw some hard data, and the initial findings so far, what I'm hearing is not good. So, from a comparison to what was expectations, so we'll see. All right, she's fired up. Again, if anybody's curious of the build and what machine that we're putting it in the description we have the actual full specs of the build. that this is in right now. Again, it's our production box that we usually do a lot of video editing and stuff with. But looks like she's coming up. Here, I'm going to switch you off of my ugly mug and get you over to where you guys can see the startup. Again, this is the X99 the X399 Republican Gaming motherboard. It's this guy right here, the Zenith. This is the board that it's in. We are going to pull down the mining drivers. So now that this is up, I'm just going to take you guys through kind of what we're going to do. I didn't pre-download any of this. I wanted to show you guys everything that we're doing so that if you can replicate it. So what I'm going to do is just, there's been enough press about this that the SEO on it is pretty high. So right now if you just do AMD Mining Drivers, you can actually Google that. You can go to the funny blog Semi-Accurate, and then you can just click this link. It just takes you straight there. You could go stumbling around on AMD's site to find it, but this gets you right there. There's enough articles that's pointing to it right now. We also put it in the description of the video too. That way you guys would have it. Somebody goes, he's been playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Yes, we wanted to test how fast PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds would be with twin 1080 Ti's in a Threadripper build, and it's pretty quick. So, and that's in 4K, it's actually pretty quick. So we are going to download this one right here, the Windows 64 version. 24 seconds remaining. 125, 140, 150. 9 seconds. 150 meg left. Alright, 300 meg. Here we go. Let this extract. If you're wondering why that thing's extracting so damn fast, is because that's on an NVMe 960 Pro solid, or the SSD, well, it's not SSD, it's an NVMe M2 drive. It's the high-end Samsung, and it is pretty quick. Even though the Threadripper, I think, is not that fast when it's unzipping things, to be honest with you. I've noticed that on a few things that we've been doing, it's been pretty slow. Slower than, let's say, like our 6950X. Looks like it's automatically installed. We're going to custom this. It's fine. Let's let this go through and install. While this thing's installing, let's take a little look at this guy. I'll answer some of you guys' questions. We did install the Samsung NVMe driver. Yes, we did. Thing like sound like it burped. You're asking why I have virtualization disabled. That's a great question. Actually, we haven't messed with it. It's probably disabled in the BIOS and we need to change it. We're going to skip the relive driver. I don't need that. And then I'm going to give it a reboot real quick. We're going to go into the BIOS real quick because I want to make sure, see if I can see that virtualization. I don't think it won't really matter for what we're doing, but it won't take that long. It'll be 10 seconds. Yeah, it'll let you guys see the X399's BIOS anyways. And the wonderful green screen. Now the green screen, that is normally red. It's green because it's going through a capture card with an extension on it. So it is a little off from the video. Let's see here, CPU configuration. Enable. So under advanced, under CPU configuration, you can enable that. Save. Let's let this reboot. Yeah, again, don't worry about the green screen if anybody's freaking out about that. That's it's just running two dual captures and we're looping it back through. It's just if it's not running a full driver-driven signal to where it's actually sending the right hertz to it, it throws it off and just gets just part of the color spectrum there on the HDMI cable. Alright, so now that's back up. And now we should see virtualization on. And it's enabled. Alright, so we pulled down the BBT multi-miner. Now we're going to go through, I'm going to switch this real quick before we go do it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through Ubiq. We're going to go through pretty much all the Claymore stuff. We're going to do dual mining. We'll try XMR. We'll try kind of the spectrum of mining with it. We'll take power readings, so we'll take a note of what the power at base, just it's set in here is, and we're gonna write that down. I'm gonna use this box here, and we're at, it looks like about 112 watts idle from the wall. That's the processor. That's everything set in here. The Threadrippers are a little. They use about 110 watts, or about 115 watts. Standard like i7, just at idle is about 50-55 watts. So it's a little more on that. So we got a baseline on that, and then after we're done going through the mining thing, I'll take kind of a poll. If people want to see me, I'll jump on like PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds real quick, and we'll just do like a fraps. And if that's of interest to you guys, let me know in the chat, and we'll do kind of a live. That way you can kind of see it performing in real time or something with a Threadripper. That's up to you guys. If you guys want to see that, if we have some time, we'll do that. So let's get back to it. All right. Let's get into running the multi-miner again. We're using multi-miner 5.4, which we'll have a link down in our description. It's out on bitsbetrippin.com. We have this out there. It's and a lot of our other videos we have a point to this, but this is just a whole bunch of different mining pool setups for anybody that is not used to mining or has done any kind of mining. This is kind of a prefab, pre-set up mining pool thing, and if you use Notepad++, you come in here and you would just change these elements up here at the top with your appropriate wallet address. That's the very first thing that you want to do. I want to give a shout out to that, just in case if you download this and you put it on your like gaming rig or something, you want to check the performance on your single card, that's fine if you do that. But if you want to actually get the coins or the tokens you earn, you got to go in there and edit this in like Notepad++, and you need to put your address in these boxes. So you don't need to do it for every one of them. If you're just going to mine like Ethereum or Ubiq coin or something like that, just go get yourself a Ubiq wallet. There's a few videos that we show how to do that, and lots of people have videos on how to do that. And then put your wallet address just in there. Just replace this, and then Notepad++, you want to hit save. And then save that, then you close this, and then when you run this multi-miner, and if you choose, let's say Ubiq up here, so if I scroll up, number 33, it's going to go, it's going to mine to that address. So those coins will go to your wallet. So that's just with as many people as we have in here. There's probably a lot of people that are not miners in here trying to just understand what's going on. I just want to make sure people understand that and just don't download it and just start mining and then wondering where their stuff's at. It's going to my wallet if you don't change that. So just, it's a PSA, a public service announcement to all of you, just to make sure you understand. All right, so now we're going to choose number 33, which is Ubiq Hodl Pool. Representing, Ubiq's up about 50% today, so they had some news. So we've been mining it for a few weeks. We're doing number 33, and let's check this. This is out of the box. I haven't changed anything. It's just installed mining driver. Here we go. Let's see what she does. I'm not worried about the IRS screenshotting it, guys. You guys can download and see my wallets. We pay our taxes. We have to. And there you go, out of the box. On Ubiq, 37.7, no overclocks, nothing. And let's take a power check. We're at 374-ish. And then let's go ahead and we're going to download Afterburner, and we're going to check the actual power output of the card, and then we can pretty much directly figure out that the card is probably pulling minus 40 watts of that is going to be coming from the PCI slot itself. So you're probably looking at 200, almost 300 watts here. You know, from a fair comparison, if I had a single 1080 Ti in there, I'd be right under 300 watts. So this is about 80 watts more right now, almost. And we could test that too. We could put one of the 1080 Ti's in there, which out of the box, this 1080 Ti will get pretty close to that same rate right now, that 37.7. This will do about 35 out of the box without any overclocking. This 1080 Ti will. So at about 60 watts less than that. 60 or 70 watts less than that. So from a mining standpoint, it's just, it's got a good rate, but it's got too much power usage right now. It looks like we're setting at 80 Celsius too, at 49% fan speed. We'll shut that down. We're gonna write that one down. Ubiq 37. Is that 37.7, 37.4? Somebody make sure I'm on there. Let's check some dual mining and let's see how much it goes up. So let's check. We'll do some music coin for a second here, and we'll do it with. Actually, let's do music. Why not? Music and Saya 45. So this is dual mining. For folks that don't know what that is, it's essentially Ethereum or music coin or any of these. Some of these things, some will use the memory and with a little bit of CPU usage, and then our GPU usage, and then the other coin that you're dual mining at the same time within every other clock cycles using the actual GPU full threaded. So now you're using the maximization of the card, essentially all the memory and the GPU at the same time. You're getting an effort from both of them. So pretty decent numbers on the dual mining from a Saya standpoint. I mean, you're looking at 37.1 and 1100 out of the gate, and that's at 29. Let's go to 33 and check if I'm hitting the plus or minus to change the intensity. And let's see what that comes to. So about 34 if I go up on the intensity, and 1100 Sia coin performance. Our power is at 379, so we just went up a little bit. So it really, that's actually pretty surprising. It didn't go up much at all for dual mining, which typically on like an RX 580, you're going to have a pretty decent increase in power usage, up to 40 to 50 watts from that dual mining. So 1125 on Sia. Let's try some Crdt, which is another coin dual mine. Let's do 46. And we'll check the performance on that. Yeah, you guys want to see GPU-Z? That's a good point. I think we have actually GPU-Z on here. GPU-Z. Nope, I actually did not install GPU-Z on here. While that's running, I'm getting the Crdt drops anyways. We'll come back to that. Let's get GPU-Z. Good point. Thank you guys for asking me for that, because I really wanted to have that up too. We're going to get this. We're going to get the latest GPU-Z here. We'll just take the standard edition. And we're going to go ahead and get the latest Afterburner 2. MSI, let's see here. MSI Afterburner. We're going to pull the latest down of this also. We need the actual beta. The latest beta right now is, there we go. I want to make sure I click the right one. We're going to name this beta. We're going to pull down Afterburner, and I know I've heard some stuff that the actual it looks like we're getting some lag here. Yeah, it looks like the output's low. I'm sorry if it's dropping frames, guys. I don't know. We're having some we're getting some lag issues right now on the stream. We have a really bad storm coming through here right now. I'd be surprised if you guys can't see it or hear it on the that's part of the problem with living in the Midwest is you randomly will get some just powerful storms that come through midday. Oh, I got too much crap in here. Which one is it? Afterburner beta. Let's move that over here. I don't need the statistics server. Make sure that's installed. We got GPU-Z down. We didn't install GPU-Z though. That's done and launched. Here's your GPU-Z. For folks interested in that. A lot of unknown. It's still, it looks like GPZ really needs to be updated, or I downloaded, is 2.20 the latest? GPU-Z. Yeah, August 15th, 2017. 2.2, or no, July 6, 2017. Wow, there's, yeah, so I'm anticipating there's going to have to be an update for this. Not much of anything. And this has almost everything locked out. Core, clocks. Can't change any of this. This is 4.4 beta 12. Beta 15 or newer. Okay, got it. Yeah, we have not tried this yet, guys. This is all, we're breaking new ground with you guys. And I don't know what that is. I think we got a phone down here that somebody left. Daughter's phone, left that. All right, let's 15. So MSI Afterburner beta 15. RAR, because it looks like it's a RAR file, or 7-zip can do it, right? Let's do 7-zip. Alright. Wow, that's like the slowest site ever. Office that there. Well, eventually that'll come down. While that's going, we'll leave that cooking. Let's get back into doing some just baseline mining test. Let's try some Ethereum. Let's see if the Ethereum driver, the wrong button. Let's see if the Ethereum, Ethereum's 3 in the multi-miner. Let's see if it fixes the hash rate. It's the price alarm for Ubiq. Yeah. There's a version 16 now, also. We'll let that run. Why is this thing still sitting at 70 Celsius? That's nuts. So we are getting not as fast on that. We'll let that run for a second while this other thing's downloading. 77 Celsius. This thing was idling. Now we're up to 82. Not so good. This thing is not cooling very well. It might be temp throttling. GPU load still at 100%. Yeah, we really need to get this downloaded because I want to be able to touch that fan speed. While we're waiting for that, MSI Afterburner. It is 16. Ready Guru. Download. We're gonna cancel this. Nobody got time for that. All right. It's beta 12. I don't know if you guys are getting some bad lag. Sorry, I mean we do have some pretty intense storms coming through here. And I can tell it's affecting my just linking to I don't see the download for it. I see it tagged, but I don't see the download for it. While that's going, let's get hardware info up and running. Nah. Hardware info doesn't like it either. Let's make sure we have the latest on that. Portable, local, open, Wi-Fi 6, downloads. Delete all those because I'm tired of looking at them all. Just let it do its analysis. Here we go. Sensors, let's see if it blows it up. Alright, so the latest edition of hardware info looks like it's opening with it. I don't know why it keeps flickering. Unless it's just getting a bad read on the sensor.
Most notably, it does not show, like the other AMD adapters, if there's hardware errors or not. We'll leave this up over here. We're going to close these sensors. Oh, hold on. I just need to tell it sensors only. Let's come back here. I do not see 4.4 beta 16. I only see beta 12. Let's go back to beta 15. And then we'll get back to mining. I'll take this guy's slow load. Alright, we'll let that finish like I should have let it finish earlier. And then we'll get back to doing some mining here. Let's see, can we change anything in Wattman? Let's look here. Accept. We're going to change you guys are going to hear a actually I'm going to take this down, the GPU clock 9:30. Oh, that's memory. Never mind. Do a 5% drop there, and then we're gonna. Can we change the RPM speeds here? Let's see here. This may get loud. We'll see. Let's cool this guy down. Let's do some music coin. And see if we can control these temps a little better.
Yeah, I saw Gamers Nexus thing. Oh, no, it doesn't like that 1200 memory. Ixnay on the memory upgrade. So let's stair step it a little more. I took it pretty aggressive on it. We tried 1200. 1200 was no bueno. Let's see here. 1200. Nope. I think it was at 935. We'll try to go to 1060. The good old the R9 290s, yeah. Yeah, I got the beta drivers ghost. I'm running the beta drivers right now. Yeah, Wattman said no. Let me get rid of this. If you guys can hear that, sorry. I'm going to kill that so you guys don't have to hear the audio. Let's do this. Settings. Wattman. We're stuck with
Alright, so GPU frequency, I want to bring it down a little bit. Let's do a 3% drop. Because we don't need that for at least the Ethereum stuff. 945 is where it's at right now. Let's just try to go to 1,000. Let's apply that. And then on this, I'm going to take the fan up again. We're going to go up. Let's just do 2,500. Fan speed, let's see where we're at with that. Minimize. Let's go back to Ubiq. See if it does a light overclock. It's actually an underclock on the GPU, an overclock on the memory from 945 to 1,000. Right at 40 megahash. It's just hitting 40 with that light. We're at 52 Celsius. Let's let this cook for a second and see if it does it. We'll try to bring the core a little less. We'll play around with the thing. We're at 381 Celsius, or 381. Man, that fan uses some juice, boys. 4 watts, 5 watts. We are keeping the temps under control, though. Now, it's reporting that the fan is at 84%. I guarantee you that fan ain't no damn 84%. So it's obviously getting a bad reading there. We have the fan set about 60% right now, 50%, something like that. It looks like we're holding about 39. So I'm gonna let's try some dual mining and see if we actually really stress it out some more. Let's do some Sci-coin with it. It's actually reading the, that's probably Claymore just reading it, 9.8 Claymore showing it GFX 901. It's not reading the card, just reading the essentially the call tag on it. Yeah, the wattage is off a little. There we go. Yeah, the wattage makes this not a mining card, bottom line, guys. But we're still going to benchmark it to see what we're getting. I mean, Richard Porter, thanks for the super chat, brother. Have fun at work. We're 35, 1,000 on the Saya. Bring the intensity down a little bit, down to 24, and see if we get that 21. I usually run at Saya about 21 to get the most. Let's check the power on that. It's still holding the same power. There's something up with that. Like it's threading the whole card out with power, even though it's not dual mining, but you're getting dual mining power usage. That's an interesting observation. So folks that don't follow this, you know, usually, or follow mining, usually when you dual mine, you have about a 10-20% increase. People are asking, what happened to the 70 to 100 megahash? That 70 to 100 megahash, whoever wrote that article was incorrect or was completely making it up. Bottom line, it's all speculation. It was all BS. We never really agreed with that rate either. I mean, it just didn't make sense from a mathematical standpoint that it would have enough memory speed and bandwidth to be able to do that. I mean, what you would have to have, you didn't have the theoretical limit with it. If the card stayed at 4096 bus, technically, you may have had it, but they have the bus and doubled the memory speed. So yeah, this thing looks like it's holding 60 Celsius, so a 2500 fan speed on these RX Vegas, 2500 RPM seems to keep them qualmed at 64 Celsius. I wouldn't read in too much into that fan speed right there, because if we look at Wattman right now, let's check Wattman. Oh no, it's spawning up a little further. It's actually cycling it a little faster. Try to keep it down. Or at least it says it is. We'll see. Let's see if we go to 20. I just set the speed 37. Audibly, it's faster. This is full tilt. And that is a hairdryer. Holy hell! That reminds me of the old 290s. And it is not decreasing. I'm resetting it and it's not dropping. Let's try it. Let's try the this side. Nope. Nope. I think AMD needs to do some bug fixing here. That is not working anymore, and it's stuck in full tilt. We're going to be rebooting this in a second. Let's do, let's see some Lbry Crdt performance. So this again is dual mining. And we're going to take the clock up after I do a next reboot. I think from a power limit standpoint, let's take this down about 10% on the frequency. Can't change the voltages. Well, you can a little bit. Let's see if we can do 950 without blue screening. We did not adjust the power. The power did not adjust. I don't think this interface is working right. Well, anyways, here's some Lbry Crdt performance for you guys. So 33 and 1094. At 33 intensity, 33 mega hash, 1094 CR. It's tilted up a little bit. Try some, it is slowing down the fan right now with it not running. Negative 400 on the core, is that what somebody's asking for? $800? It's not going that low. Let's give this a restart because I think it's I think the Wattman wasn't working.
it wasn't anything I was doing. It just learn the beta driver released from AMD. Are you trying that with your Vega? Yes, this does have the Vega driver, the Vega mining driver right now on it. We are using the Vega mining driver. We do not know what memory type it has. It did not say in GPU-Z. The latest version of GPU-Z is not showing us the memory types. You cannot update the BIOSes on these either. Well, you can update them, but you can't do anything with them. It went back to full tilt. Hopefully we can bring that down a little. We're going to do this for about a half hour more. We're going to try a little bit more with it. Let's go back in here, settings, Wattman. I mean, we got the core set way low. Some pretty heavy rain coming in right now, guys, so if we lose you, I'm sorry. You guys might have been able to hear that, actually. Let's see if just with that low of a core, we get any performance at all. We're going to be doing Ubiq. It's like a dark, stormy night here. $39, and let's check the power. Still at 181. I don't think the meter's running at all, guys. I don't think it's mattering at all by me changing at least that setting. Because look at that core. I have it forced down, and it's still showing 1250. Even with 19% decrease, it's still showing full speed. Like, it's not affecting it at all. So I think this right here is just BS right now. This, we're going to click up a little bit and see if we can go to 1050. That's 30, still 39. It's actually... Yeah, now it says its current speed's 100. Yeah, I just don't think this stuff's ready for us really modding it. Let's try 1190 or 1090 and see if that matters. We probably need a few more days for the driver or the software to fix itself. You know, for folks to do some releases, have a stable build of Afterburner. Yeah, we're still only getting 36 here. We should be getting more than that. Let's get let's try this guy again and see if it's... We rebooted last time we were downloading this.
I'm not seeing let's do a reset on all those settings. I don't think we're hitting the. Folks keep asking about up and up. Looks like the driver just recovered itself, maybe. And we'll see. Nah, still not. I think the settings we're setting at is not. Still is low 30s. You know, if we try a different coin, like let's do just SIA directly. Like a RX 580 does SIA by itself at, woo, that's double. Does it about 1,000. We were just doing these last night in the last night stream. So this is twice as fast as an RX 580. How much power are we using for that? It's still the same amount, 380. But this is twice as fast by just doing SIA by itself right now. A single RX 580 does SIA at about 1,000 or 850. We just did a video last night on that, covering a whole bunch of different 580s and 480s, and 570s, for that matter. And they were all about 850 to 1,000. So that's just SIA. Let's try some Zcash. You guys interested in Zcash? Let's try some Zcash. Oh, didn't like that. Cannot build OpenCL program for GPU 0. So it looks like this version of Claymore. We'll see if it does work. Did get an error. Still went through to authorize the pool. So it looks like, yeah, nope. Not working. So it looks like we need a update for Claymore. For at least the AMD miner for Claymore on Zcash. Try library directly. And that's the CUDA. I need to fix that one. Let's try some XMR. Let's see if this AMD one or 16. And no. AMD HSA code object failed loading. So it looks like Claymore 9.8's about it right now. This one might be just a to be continued, guys. I mean, I think what we really need is we need a couple days to happen where folks can get some updates out there. It looks like we did get this one finally downloaded. Let's just see if we can make a change to it. We may just kind of end out let's see here. Here's beta 15. Let's just see if we can play with some settings here real quick. This may become a to be continued when we get our second Vega 2, and then we'll put it in the proper rig and see. But right now it's looking like a bust. From at least a mining standpoint, it's definitely a bust. I will reset the settings here, and then we can give a we can see some settings. That's a good thing. Let's do a unlink this, go all the way up here and give it some more power maybe. Let's see if we can drop the core clock to 1200 and bring this guy to 1100. Let's see, 33, what we got. From that. Oh my goodness. Horrible, 21. Did not like that core clock drop. Close a lot, man. Let's bring I don't know if this is the same one. Let's see here. Beta. Yeah, beta 15. Let's reset that. Let's set this to 1050. Bump that up a little more. Let's leave this up. And see if it's actually stepping to that. Let's check this. We got the BBT crew coming over right now. You hear the dog barking. Oh, there we go. We finally found a decent setting. Almost 42. 20% to the power limit. We left the core alone. How much power are we using? Woo! Look at that power usage. $41.8. That's a huge power increase though, folks. 437 watts of power. I mean, this machine idles at 100. That's over 300 watts of power. So almost 42 there. give this 25. We'll give this 1075. We're not touching the core. Let's try it again. Let's see what we can get. $42.6. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something. We're definitely gonna have to know an undervolt or something, but I still don't think it's gonna matter. 450. We broke 450. This is ridiculous. So 42.6 at 75. Well, we're well over 300 watts right now. So that's still holding. Now let's check a dual mine and see. Let's do Saya and that. Now this theoretically should be using more power. Yeah, BIOS mod. They need to really unlock the BIOS for us. I mean, I know that they got there's some reasons why they did that to try to work with secure boot, but seriously. So we're looking at right at 1,000 Saya and 35 there. We are still, we gained 6 mega hash here for 55 watts. Ah, tennis players showed up. Some of the folks know them from the other videos. We got the BBT crew over here tonight, guys, so they're just showing up now. We're going to be wrapping this up here real soon. Alright, so that's some dual mining performance with it. We're gonna keep messing with this a little bit. 45, let's do, I don't think we have any more than 30. That's all we're gonna take it to is 30 here. Let's see if 1100 stable. Feeding it a little more power. Going back to Ubiq. That CPU temp is like a tachometer, flying straight up. There it is, 44 mega hash. So at 44 mega hash at freaking 460 watts. $465, holy hell. Again, these VRMs are supposed to be some of the best out there. Let's see if it can handle it. 1125. No blue screen yet. And we're done. 1125 is where she's at. Just dropped to 250 and we're done. Alright, let's go ahead and go back here. We'll wrap this one up. Alright guys, so looks like we ended out at 1100 on the memory. We left the stock clocks. We're obviously going to do some more tuning with this, guys. I wanted just to kind of see really where we were at from out of the box. You guys saw the install, fresh install. I think they're going to need a few more driver updates.
I think AMD is going to have to do something to allow us to at least mod the BIOSes. Right now they have the BIOS encrypted, kind of like an NVIDIA card. Well, to the point that it lets you download it, but you can actually, if somebody writes a tool to actually change the BIOS, the problem is you can't upload it back to the card. It's like a driver device signing issue with secure boot. It just doesn't work. So they're hopefully going to unlock that. I just don't know if it's just out of the gate that they're just not allowing us to touch them. I mean, we mod BIOSes by the hundreds, and I mean, we don't brick our cards. We don't send that stuff in, and the stuff's pretty robust if you know what you're doing and you watch the tutorials. So I mean, there's a pretty educated group out there to be able to do that kind of stuff. So I really hope they do open it up for us. But I mean, at these power levels, guys, I mean, it's kind of a meh. We'll take a look at RX 56, the RX Vega 56 when it comes out, but right now this is kind of a bust. I mean, it's cool to see 44 mega hash out of a card, but not at that power expense. That's kind of the closing argument there. Right now, the best mega hash to power to cost ratio still remains to be the 1060, the GTX 1060. I would say probably stick with the 6 gig cards right now, because a lot of the newer 3 gig cards that are coming out are a memory setting that is not, let's just say it's not very good. That's stock on the card. The type of memory that's on it doesn't allow them over about 18 and a half, 19 mega hash. So a lot of the 6 gig cards you should be fine with, and they're probably the best cost ratio right now, but it is still on a green NVIDIA right now. It still kind of holds it, unless you can get a good deal on some RX 470s or RX 480s, maybe in the aftermarket kind of scenario. If people are getting out of mining, that's probably going to be your best deal. But right now, I would say if you're a miner and you're on a bit on the fence to find the RX Vega right now, I would steer clear. I mean, just those power requirements, even if you're able to get a whole bunch of them, you're back into the realm of like R9 290Xs is the last time I've seen power usages of that level. Even the 390s would be less than this. So the R9 390s is a little less than this. So that's kind of the verdict, guys. I mean, this card would have to be at those power rates. The card has to be in the 70 to 100 mega hash. Period. That's just where it has to be, and it's not. So thanks for tuning in. We're gonna keep to this. I was gonna do the 12 GPU. We're gonna save that one for tomorrow. We'll do, if you guys are watching us now, we're going to do a 12 GPU mining rig that's back here. This guy right here, we need to put a new board on it. But you guys can kind of see this, 12 GPUs. We'll be doing that tomorrow, live stream, probably around 8-ish, 8 Central Standard Time. We'll do 12 GPU. It's a RX 580s. That should be close to almost a 400 mega hash rig, so that's going to be kind of cool to see. And we got a lot more stuff coming up, so thanks for tuning in. You guys were 392. That's the most we've had in a while. I think it's because it's been earlier, but thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be posting some other stats on this once we get some other stuff done with it and see if we can get it optimized.